Hey, welcome to a tutorial about Audacity. The first step is to download the program itself, and when you do so, you'll see a screen that looks something like this. There's a few features that I'm going to show you as we go throughout this area. The first step you're going to want to do is record some sort of a track. So you could take what I have and just click record, and when I'm recording, you could see that the sound waves are going to appear. Whenever you're done with your recording, just hit stop. This could be a tutorial about how to do something or reading a story or something else like that. Notice that when you're done recording, you can still see your tracks here and you can modify it in various ways. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to add some background music to whatever it is you've recorded. Obviously, you're going to want to pick some background music that fits the theme of whatever your project is going to be. There's two websites that I've linked on Moodle that I think would work very well. There's one Ben Sound, where maybe you want something that's very calm and subdued, or maybe something a little bit more epic, as it says. Or the other place would be Orange Free Sounds at this website. It's the same idea that you have quite a number of places where you can grab background music that fit whatever you're looking for. So for example, if I wanted to pick this Better Days, I would just click download. It's going to ask me about how I would like to use it, and downloading it is very, very simple. For most websites, if you're downloading an MP3, you need to know that it's going to go into your downloads folder. And from within that folder, you're probably going to want to move it into a folder that you know where it's going to be. So for example, this Better Days is begun in my downloads. Ahead of time is saved several background sounds into a spot in a folder that I would use, and also some sound effects that I got from findsounds.com. So once again, at findsounds.com, I have the ability to basically take any sound I want, like a car horn, a buzzer, an animal barking, or whatever it might be. To add any background sound or sound effects to your Audacity piece, it's very, very simple. Just go up to File and import the audio that you're looking to have. When you go to import audio, you pick the folder obviously that you want. So for example, if I wanted this Little Idea background music from Ben Sound, it's going to bring it into my project, and you can notice that now the audio track that I recorded is much shorter. It's only about 13 seconds as compared to the 2 minutes that I have from my background music. Just to show you that again, I'm going to import some audio, and in this case it's going to just be another little clip that I'm doing with it. Notice that if I pick something that's much shorter, like a sound effect, I'm going to have to take that and be able to move it in various ways. That's kind of what I want to show you next. The next thing that I'd like to show you is this tool up at the very top here. It's called the Time Shift tool. If you click on that, you have the ability to move any of the audio tracks that you've created forward or backwards in your project. So by default, you're going to notice that all your sound effects are at 0 seconds, and maybe you want them at just a certain spot. That's a very handy tool to move it to wherever you want. If there's a piece of whatever you're doing that you don't want to keep, just a selection tool would work, and you can highlight whatever you'd like to delete and just hit the delete button, and that would work very easily. The selection tool is also how you can select whatever it is that you're looking for. So maybe I looked at this audio track and realized that it's too loud. The second thing you're going to need to be able to do is to amplify it, which seems backwards, but you're going to use amplify to actually make it so that it's not as large. Notice that when I took that, I can take and make my track as large or as small as I would like by undoing or leaving it the way that I want. That's also a way that I could take the end of my track, go up to the very top, change the effect, and I can make it fade in or fade out. By fading out, notice that it's making it a little bit softer at the very end. For this assignment, you're going to have to move tracks, you're going to have to amplify or de-amplify them, and you're also going to have to fade them out at the very, very end. Lastly, when you're content with what your project is looking at, the final step is going to be to export your audio, because right now, if you save your project, the project is going to be an AUP file, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. So maybe mine is called instructions or something like that. Notice that it's saving it as an AUP file for me to work at it only in Audacity, but really nowhere else. To take that working project that I called instruction and to export it so that other people in the world can listen to it, the last step is going to go up to File, to export your audio, and you're going to want to export it as an MP3 file. As we talked about in class, an MP3 file is a smaller file that takes up a little bit less space, and the preset values are probably what you're looking for. You want to give it a name that makes sense to you, so calling it instruction again makes sense. And basically it's going to ask you that, do you realize that you're saving it as a lower quality file? And that's perfectly fine. This is just basically, I can save this into whatever file I want, and when you save it as an MP3 file, it's basically telling me it's going to give it in as two stereo channels. The defaults are okay, and when you click OK, you're going to want to see this idea that it's exporting the entire file with the standard preset in a place that I knew where I wanted to save it. This should take you through the basic tools that you need to use in this. For any other questions, feel free to contact me.